did no one suspect me? How did none of my friends come to question my supposed innocence? It certainly wasn't because I was some brilliant liar. No, it was the way I held myself, the way I positioned myself in that very room, the way my body was slightly nonchalant, like I had nothing to lose but also nothing to prove, the way my voice never wavered and I was able to keep my eye contact. But let me be completely honest. I wasn't always like this. Only a few years ago, I still struggled with my self-confidence and my self-representation. Only a few years ago, I would have made the world's worst murder mystery party guest. And it certainly wouldn't have been for my lack of trying. I certainly would have tried to keep up the facade of someone composed and someone confident. And that is exactly wherein the problem lied. It being a facade, not my true self. And I mean, the truth always comes out. The way my shoulders would have hunched and my voice would have wavered, and I wouldn't have been able to keep my eye contact. So what changed? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. This experience and this transformation, it didn't happen overnight. It was shaped by intentional actions I had to take. This echoes something that the philosopher Sartre once said: existence precedes and rules essence. This is the philosophical idea that a person's essence or nature is not predetermined at birth, but rather shaped through one's own experiences and owned actions. Sartre thereby opposed the status quo. He opposed the idea that if you were born shy, you act shy, and you will forever stay that way. Instead, he emphasized the need to take action. More specifically, taking action to shape our very destiny and our very future. Now, for example, you are not born a murderer, but if you kill someone, you become a murderer. But how does this link to body language? Well, from Sartre's argument, we need to take the importance of taking action. More specifically, taking action over our very own body language to change our very being. And this taking of action and this changing of our very being is exactly what Amy Cuddy, social psychologist, also researched. Because did you know our very body language changes our very being? Now, for you to better understand this study, I invite you all to please stand up. Now, I want you all to look around. Look at your neighbor. What do you see? From this point on, I see some shuffling feet, maybe some hands in your pockets, or some awkward smiles. You are in what Amy Cuddy coined as a low-power pose. Now let's change that, shall we? I want you all to put your feet hip-width apart, really ground yourself. Push your shoulders back and your chest out. Look straight ahead and put both hands on your hips. Now I want you guys to look around. What do you see now? I see a group of superheroes ready to take on the next challenge. Or in what Amy Cuddy coined as a high power pose. You can give yourself a round of applause and please sit back down. Now, especially interesting, however, is the second part of Cuddy's experiment, the testing of the hormones. Don't worry, though. I won't be testing that on any one of you guys today. For example, she tested the hormone testosterone, a hormone we typically associate with dominance. And she found out that people in high power poses experience an increase in their testosterone levels. Furthermore, people in low power poses actually saw a decrease. She also tested the hormone cortisol, a hormone we typically associate with stress. Interestingly, she found that people in high power poses seemed to experience decreased cortisol levels, whereas people in low power poses actually saw an increase. Fascinating, right? Amy Cuddy was able to scientifically prove how body language changes our very being. Now, from this experiment, Amy Cuddy drew following conclusion. that we should stand in positions of high power right before important events. Say, a job interview, an exam, or maybe even this very TED Talk. But I couldn't help but wonder, there had to be more to it, right? And let's be honest, do we really want more people in this world running around high on testosterone? I think there's plenty enough already as it is. So I came to wonder, what should we do? When I asked you all to stand up just a second ago, how did that feel? Maybe some of you in this very audience felt a little bit squeamish in that high power pose, a little bit uncomfortable. Don't let that discourage you. You are in front of something that I would coin as a mental stereotype. Because in this day and age, where our attention span has decreased by 25% over the last 20 years, it becomes easy to look for quick solutions and quick fixes. And then, when they don't immediately work, we give up. We're left discouraged. And I mean, let me be honest. Me standing on this very stage today, it took more than just one power pose or just one TED Talk. But that is not to say that it is impossible. In fact, my presence on this very stage today proves that it is, in fact, possible. We should orient ourselves by what Amy Cuddy said. It is not fake it until you make it. It is fake it until you become it. Body language is a tool that we can use to change our very being. Now, I want you all to think about this. Remain consistent. For example, when I started this all off, right, I tried out the power pose. I hit that superwoman pose in the mirror, and I couldn't help but feel awkward, uncomfortable, but I continued pushing on because consistency, right? And then slowly, the poses developed. They came to reflect my very being. They helped me become more confident. Now, that is not to say that power posing is all. I would say that it is the first step, the first ingredient to the whole recipe. We also need to put ourselves out there. We need to put ourselves in those stressful and in those uncomfortable situations, and then we need to apply our body language. That's when it becomes real. That's when we shift from imitation to transformation. That's when we change from being shy in a high power pose to becoming confident through our very body language. So when you leave this hall tonight, I want you to think about this. How are you standing in that very room? Is it who you are? Is it who you want to become? If not, don't worry. You can hit that power pose and jumpstart your journey into becoming the very person you want to be right through your body language. Because as we learned tonight, body language is a language that is simply louder than words. Thank you.